Hi. Recently, I just encountered a very interesting conversation in LinkedIn where people were discussing about relational databases and ACID, and the conclusion came into something like that. Uh, the relational databases always needs to be ACID compliances, and ACID should always be go into in a relational database. But I think, and my philosophy kind of different with this concept. So I thought to discuss about it. Uh, the relational database is kind of a structure, and ACID is a database's behavior, how the transaction will be occurred on a database. In normal scenario, previously, a long time ago, when we had to work on a legacy product, we might see on a database's perspective a huge monolithic database table where all the informations are in the same table. So it was a very common scenario. The same information are in multiple rows, maybe in same column. So the repetition of data and data redundancy was a very common thing, which was not a very good practice as it might require a lot of storage. So what we do, we pick that table which is not normalized, then we normalize that table and schema and break down that into some small tables. When we need to aggregate it, output, we perform joins operations in between the smaller tables, and we can get our output. But there is a problem in this behavioral. Normalizing table has absolutely nothing to do with surviving a power outage. So we need ACID compliance to have that. We all know what uh, is ACID. ACID is atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability behavior in a database, which supports the database to have, if any transaction is occurring, it if it has multiple layers, this should be completed by 100% or by 0%. This should not be half done. So we can look into this anatomy where a customer is requesting for a purchase, and on this request we have to update our inventory table and our orders table. Let's say the inventory tables data has got updated, but the ordered stable data could not because of a power outage. So this is a inconsistency, and a corrupted data problem has been occurred. So how can we get rid of this? The ACID can help us to solve this problem. So here we can see the ACID and the relational database solves completely different problem, but they are somehow related to each other. The relational databases mainly solves the data redundancy problem. When data redundancy problem is solved by relational databases after normalization, and at that point we face some problems while we are trying to have a proper transaction mechanism. That's why we need ACID compliance databases. But this is not necessary that always a relational database would be ACID compliance. Long ago, inside MySQL, my ISM was not a ACID compliance database, but that was a relational database. And again, in our modern scenario, MongoDB, DynamoDB are ACID compliance databases, but they are not a SQL database. They are no SQL database. So we can see these clear exceptions in our modern era. So uh, what we can say, ACID compliance and relational database are not married couple. Maybe they are highly compatible roommates. So that is my take. Thank you.